Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody has had an awesome week so far, and I welcome you to our live class IELTS streaming on YouTube. Welcome Ramandeep. Hi Amrit. Hi Domenico, good to see many students joining in on this class. Students, in this class we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 1. And the focus of this Speaking Part 1 will be on traveling, so taking a trip. This is kind of a popular topic. It's definitely appeared on the IELTS exam in the past, in Part 1, or even in Part 2 or Part 3. So it's good to practice this topic, and we have lots more IELTS classes all throughout this week from today until Saturday, the 28th. Tomorrow we'll have reading for members, and we'll have a speaking part 2 for our subscribers. So definitely subscribe to our channel. Click that bell button so you get notifications of these live classes. Welcome Sophia. Hi Sajid. Welcome to our chat moderator Carolina. And welcome to our member Monica. We'll also have classes on Saturday, Task 2 Writing and Speaking Part 3 as well. So lots of classes coming up. Definitely subscribe. If you have questions about the IELTS exam or our products, you can always send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. And certainly to get tons of help getting ready for your IELTS exam, visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Both of our websites have loads of information for you to prepare for your IELTS exam. This is our academic IELTS website here. You can click this big red button to join our premium IELTS package. We are an official IELTS test registration center and certified agents, so you're in great hands with us. So you just click that button above my head, and then you're off to the races. You fill out this form here, and you can even use this discount code in this class. It's RT9X. Let me just double check that for us. It is XR9T. So XR9T, and you will get a 25% discount from the full price. Different prices in different countries depending on economy, so check it out. This is our general IELTS website here at gieltshelp.com. You click that big red button there for the general IELTS and you're good to go. All right, everyone. So make sure to join us there. You can definitely get our apps from your app store, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. The apps will link to the websites so that you can use the app or the website for your account. And we'll use these websites today to practice IELTS speaking. So we're maybe the only people that actually do this, where we will call our viewers and we will practice IELTS speaking together, giving strategies and tips to everybody and practice to improve your speaking skills. General IELTS Help, GIELTS Help is the Instagram for that one. All right. I see Amrit has a question and Sophia says, I have the same question. Students, I am looking at the chat at the same time as I'm teaching, and I'm open to questions all the time. So I'm taking peeks at what you are asking. So Amrit is asking, sir, which one is best, computer IELTS or pen and paper based IELTS? And I know I always tell students don't say it depends, but it depends. So let me answer this question. It's a popular question for everyone, and then we will get into today's speaking. So This question is coming from Amrit today, and Sophia says, I have the same question. Should I take the paper or computer based IELTS? Whoa, woohoo. Based IELTS exam. The best answer for this Amrit and Sophia is it depends on your typing skills. So if you can touch type without looking at your fingers in English, then definitely take the computer administered, it's another way they say it, exam, because it has better flow and some advantages. Okay. So definitely, and I mean, if you can touch typing is faster than typing or writing by hand, and it's easier to make corrections. So the writing section especially is better to take the computer-based if you can touch type. If you cannot touch type in English, then use or do the paper-based exam, okay? So if you cannot touch type, in English, as what I'm doing right now, then you should take the computer-based, paper-based test. Okay, because if you're finger pecking, okay, if you're going tock 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 like a little birdie, then that will create problems. There's a really great website that's free. I always recommend this to teach you English and touch typing together. Maybe Carolina, you can put the URL into the chat for us as well. It's called rapidtyping.com. Okay, so I can probably even show you that. Let me check this out here. So rapidtyping.com. It looks like a really simple little website. It looks like this. Okay. And this website, it has free software. It's always been free. You just download it. It's a lovely piece of software. It's been around for like 20 years, and it will actually help you to learn English, grammar, vocabulary, and touch typing. So you're hitting like 10 birds with one stone when you do this kind of practice. They're absolutely free. There's no advertising. It's kind of what a dream application is or would be made of course, okay? So rapidtyping.com. Everybody got that? So this website, it's 100% free. Lovely, lovely website. And that's what I used to learn touch typing 17 years ago. I just did the math on that for you. 17 years ago, I used that website to learn to touch type properly in university. So definitely check that out, okay? And once you can touch type, then take the computer-based exam. It's definitely a better version of the test, okay? All right. So everybody got that? Domenico says, I can touch type in English, but like I said, my typing skills are not that good. Domenico, go to rapidtyping.com, put it in your computer, use it, and I guarantee you within a couple of weeks, your skills will greatly improve to touch type in English. Make sure to set it up in English, okay? Yes, Ramido, the years go by. All right. Sachin, you are welcome. But aside from that, so good question. Which is better, computer-based, paper-based? My opinion, computer-based is better. There, you have a lot more functions and tools at your disposal as long as you can touch type. If you cannot touch type, do not take the computer-based exam. Take the paper-based exam. All right, so IELTS speaking, everyone. Okay. So here's a question for you. What do you think is the most difficult part of the speaking section? What is the most difficult aspect of the IELTS speaking section? I want to hear your answers to this because, you know, I'm curious what you feel, and I want to tailor the lesson to your needs. So what do you find to be the most difficult when you've been practicing for the speaking section? What is a challenge that you often face where you're like, man, I wish this was not so, or well, I wish I could do this a little bit better? So Tizo Sword says cue cards. Okay, fair enough. So we've got one, cue cards, part 2, right? That's one of the answers. Cue cards, part 2, sure. Okay. All right. Sunny says cue cards. Lucky Llama says to elaborate the sentence. Okay, I'll make a note of that as well, and we'll talk for a short or brief moment on that one as well. Okay, Kite Runner says pronunciation. Sure. All right, I'll take a note of that. Amrit says grammar mistakes in part 3. All right, so we've got how many? 4 so far? Let's take one more. All right. Pardeep says explanation of the idea. Okay. All right, so good. All right, so let me touch on these a little bit before we get into our speaking part 1 questions, okay? So these are the ones that came up from a few of our viewers. Let me touch on these. So let's talk about cue cards a little bit. A lot of people find cue cards challenging because you don't do this in everyday life, okay? So you don't speak like this daily, okay? So the number 1 solution to this, of course, is practice. And it's not just practice. Like, probably some of you are like, duh, Adrian, of course. We've heard that like a billion times. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. I mean, it's true. You know, it is what it is. It's practice, but it's not just practice. It's effective practice, okay? And now you're probably going, well, what does he mean, effective practice? Every teacher has their own idea of effective practice. My major in university was psychology. My goal is to understand how we learn, how we think, and to build on our common skills as humans, as the way that our brain works, okay? So when I mean effective practice, what I mean is understand that topics like objects, people, places, events, and ideas have standard structures to communicate clearly. Okay, and now you're probably going, what is that? This is a big class, or we can even split this up into several classes, and definitely this is why you want to subscribe to our channel, so that you can participate in our speaking part 2 classes as well, where I talk about each of these points separately on our website. In our interactive course, we have information on this. So just as an example, when you talk about a person, Okay, you want to talk about their appearance, their personality, backed up by action. Okay, so this is when we talk about a person. So let's say the cue card is talk about a person who has had a positive influence on your life. So you would say something like, my father, a tall, stern man, with dark hair and blue eyes, has had a major benefit in my life. He is very hardworking, goes to his job at 8 a.m. and comes home at 6 p.m. So I have learned the value of doing hard work. Okay, so something like that. So this would be an example of talking about a person. And as long as you learn the structure of talking about a person or an object or a place or an event or an idea, and then you follow with the cue card, you can do a really good job, okay? But you need to understand what the structure is for each of these. I don't have enough time in this class because this is a speaking part 1 class, but that's the idea, everyone, okay? All right, now the next point, everybody clear on that? So when I give you this information, take notes, repeat after me. When I give you a sentence like this, make sure to repeat. So I'll say this again. My father, a tall, stern man with dark hair and blue eyes, has had a major benefit in my life. He is very hardworking, goes to his job at 8 a.m., comes home at 6 p.m. So I've learned the value of doing hard work. Okay, so make sure to repeat when I give these sentences. Don't just listen. That would make this a listening class. Okay, this is a speaking class and you will be speaking with me very soon. Okay, Carolina gave me some thumbs up. So everybody understands that when you're talking about a cue card in part 2, you need to understand the structure of talking about people, places, objects, ideas, events. That's what you need to practice. You need to, of course, answer the questions on the card, but when you do that, you usually answer the questions, and then you will get a great mark, okay? All right, everybody got that? Okay. Now, Sansa is saying something interesting. Sansa is saying speaking part 1 is not that hard. That's true, Sansa. However, or sorry, Sana. But that's true, Sana. However, you have to do really well in part 1 because it sets up for the rest of the exam. Okay, now I see lots of thumbs up too. So this came from another student. Another student said, well, one of the really hard parts of the IELTS speaking is to elaborate on sentences. Okay, all right, to elaborate, always think about this structure. Okay, always think and practice this structure. And many of you know what's coming. You're like, oh, I know what Adrian's going to write there. It's answer plus explain plus example. Okay, so what I mean by this is you need to give the answer and then because. And here, think of what most people would say. So, and visualize. So see your answer. If you don't see what you're talking about, your audience cannot understand or cannot see it as well. Humans are visual beings, okay? We're all about the eyeballs, all right? Somebody want to throw an eyeball emoji into the chat? We're all about the eyeballs, okay? Humans tend to forget that. We could say we're also about the emotions, but the emotions and our visual world are very strongly connected, okay? okay? Our emotions are strongly affected by what we see, okay? This is our world. We're like two big eyeballs, okay? So you have to see what you're talking about. If you don't see what you're talking about, your audience will have difficulty seeing it, your examiner will have difficulty seeing it, and you will not get a great band score. Okay, there we go. Ramito, see those eyeballs? There's a reason why you've got all these eyeball emojis. Okay. There are lots of eyeballs in the chat now. Yeah, so we're visual beings, so you have to see the information. All right, so answer, explain, because or since, as a result, okay, and then a smooth example from real life. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So here's a question. Okay, all right, from speaking part 1 today. Okay, this is the question here. How often do you go on a trip? Now, as we're doing this, everyone, repeat after me. Okay, so how often do you go on a trip? Make sure to speak and repeat. Okay, this is a speaking class, everyone. So speak and repeat. It's so important. Let's do pink. Okay, so how often do you go on a trip? All right, now answer, right? Here we go. I frequently travel. Okay, I've paraphrased. All I'm doing is I'm directly answering the question and I'm paraphrasing. Often, frequently. I frequently travel. Then I add numbers. At least a couple of times a month. Okay, numbers, right? Because I really like to explore new places. All right, so right away, why do we like going on trips? Why do most people like going on trips? There are lots of reasons. There are lots of popular reasons. Definitely one of the popular reasons is exploring new places. We like to discover new places. Now, can my audience see what I'm talking about? Not yet, okay? All I've done so far is answered and given an explanation. And then now I go, just last week, so no for example, no for instance, just last week, I went to Beacon Hill Park for the first time and saw beautiful big trees and the Pacific Ocean. All right, now you're starting to visualize. Now you can see these big green trees, whatever that means to you, and you can see the ocean. So you've got a picture in your head, okay? We've just discovered a new place in Adrian's brain. This would be a band 9, as long as you say it fluently and clearly for part 1, okay? All right, so that's how it works, all right? Answer, then here comes my explanation, okay? And then here comes my example. All right, hopefully everybody is clear on that. Thumbs up. So that's how you elaborate, okay? And keep practicing this answer, explain, example. Answer, explain, example. Until you really master doing this in English, I don't recommend trying different techniques, okay? All right, so that's how you do it, all right? That's how you give clear band 9 answers and elaborate. So one more time, everybody. How often do you go on a trip? I frequently travel, at least a couple of times a month, because I really like to explore new places. Just last week, I went to Beacon Hill Park for the first time, and I saw beautiful big trees, and the Pacific Ocean. All right, there you go. You got a band 9. Say that fluently, okay? So that is how you elaborate. So again, that was the question. How do I elaborate? That's how you elaborate on your answers, okay? All right. So next question was pronunciation. Pronunciation, most importantly, don't worry about it. Okay? Don't worry about your pronunciation. That will come with time, and as long as the examiner can understand you, it won't really affect your marks, okay? Don't worry about this. As long as the examiner understands you, this doesn't matter much. You can still get a great score with an accent. As long as they understand you. If they can't, then practice repetition. And you should do that anyway. So practice repeating. So when you're listening to me speak and you're repeating me, practice. Try to copy the way that I pronounce words. I pronounce, by the way, with a West Coast North American accent. Okay? All right. Grammar mistakes in part 3. I can't remember who asked me that. I think maybe it was Amrit. Grammar mistakes in part 3. Use the question and the grammar of the question in your answer. Okay, so for example, in part 3, if the question is how has technology improved communication over the past 100 years, then in your answer, use the question and reflect the grammar, okay? So, advancements in technology have greatly increased people's ability to communicate with each other over the past century. Okay? So all I'm doing is I'm reflecting the present perfect. How has technology improved? And I'm reflecting it have greatly increased people's ability. I'm reflecting that grammar in my response, and I'm using that question, okay? That's how you can stay focused on the right grammar and giving a good response, okay? Explanation of the idea. How do I explain the idea? I'm going to circle back to this answer here. Okay, so explanation of the idea goes hand in hand with elaborating the sentence. Okay, so these two are more or less the same question. When you're explaining the idea, use because and visualize. All right, okay, so that's what goes on there. All right, everyone. So great questions about the speaking. Let's get into speaking part 1 and let's apply these strategies. So to make this a little bit funner and more effective, let's talk to each other, okay? Again, for that, we're going to use our website. So I'm going to talk to our viewers. And I'm going to give you some band score estimates and feedback and strategy and tips. And then we will keep going. So how do you do it? Okay, let me explain. Okay, it's up here. So to volunteer for speaking, Okay. First, you want to go to aehelp.com. Okay. Log into your My Student account. Click on Student Partner Speaking. Enable the microphone in your browser. Keep the window open. Don't close it. Okay. And then send me a message to Master, I want to volunteer. Okay. Thank you for the super chat donation, Amrit. Okay. And then I'll contact you. Okay. So let me show you what I mean by this. All right. So we want to go to the website. This one here, aehelp.com. Okay. So again, this website is www.aehelp.com. Okay. Now you can register a free account by clicking the try demo button, or again, to get access to all of our amazing videos and products, just click the red join now button. Then you'll have your My Student account. It will log you in automatically when you register. And then in your My Student account, you will have this Student Partner Speaking. By the way, if you like speaking and you like practicing speaking in this way, you can book a full speaking interview session with me by clicking this Speaking Interview Practice button. Okay, so you can check that out later. But for now, definitely click on this Student Partner Speaking. That's free for everyone, and you can practice with not just me, but with other IELTS students as well. Okay, so click on that Student Partner Speaking, accept the terms that you're going to be polite, and then you will open this window here. And you can see in this window, we have Kamal Deep, we have Mandeep, we have H Deep, we have Ronaldo, we have Krutik, we have Sam, and many other students underneath. And now you can click on that little blue envelope for Master and send me a message and say, I want to practice speaking. Please give me my band score. And then I will be able to connect with you, and we will be able to chat, and I will be able to give you some band score estimates. So waiting for people to volunteer. So Kamal Deep, H Deep, Mandeep, make sure that when the website asks you to enable your microphone and your speaker, you click allow. Otherwise, we will not be able to hear each other. Okay? All right. So Kamal Deep has just pinged me. The reason I know that Kamal Deep just pinged me, everyone, is because of this little one here. I can see that little one. Okay? All right. So let's see. All right, Kamal Deep, are you ready? And I will always ask you if you're ready, just to make sure your connection is good and you haven't left to go for breakfast or supper or go to bed, go to work. By the way, please, everyone, do not use this if you're driving, okay? All right, you should always focus on driving when you're driving. All right, so let's see if Kamal Deep is good to go here. So you should hear both of us here, okay? Everybody should hear both of us. Hi, Kamal Deep.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Well, I'm quite well. What about you, sir?
Okay. I have to turn up my volume to hear you. You sound a bit distant, okay? Can you get a little bit closer to your mic?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had to turn up the volume, but I can hear you. Okay. All right, Kamal Deep. So where are you right now in this big, beautiful world?
Sir, I am from India.
Whereabouts? India is a very, very big country with a lot of states and a lot of people.
Yes, I am from India in northern part of India, in Punjab province.
In the Punjab province. Okay, in the northern part, yeah. Yeah, because when people say like when you're in countries like India, it's like saying I'm in Europe. It's like, okay, you're in Europe, all right. So India is 1 billion people, right? Okay, Kamaldeep, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Well, I have been doing practicing for my IELTS exam because I want to go Canada for my further studies, and uh, I want to study IT in Toronto University.
Okay, University of Toronto, great. That's
Yes,
one of the best universities in Canada and one of the biggest
yes,
as well. So good for you. Okay, well, let me help you with your journey. I'll come back to the questions here. And we'll start off the IELTS exam kind of like in the real test, okay? If sometimes, a
okay,
lot of times people are doing the computer-based test now. You're doing the speaking through the camera like this virtually, so it's really good practice. It'll be very similar. Okay, here we go. So welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. The speaking has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. For part 1, I will ask you some questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. May I see your identification?
yes. Here is my passport that I used to register for this exam a couple of weeks ago.
What is your full name?
My full name is Kamaldeep Kumar, but you can call me by my first name Kamal.
Okay, Kamal. Do you work or study?
Actually, I am a student by profession, and now I am pursuing my graduation in BCA stream.
What do you do to relax?
Well, in order to unwind, I usually listen to music, and I like to play with my pet. Like last, like yesterday, I played with my pet for 30 minutes to relax myself.
Okay, let's talk about traveling. How often do you go on a trip?
Well, uh, I would say I frequently go on a trip uh, twice in a month because I really want to explore new places. And la- last weekend, I went to a water park and I enjoyed a lot.
Nice. Okay. Very good, Kamal. Awesome. Let me give you some feedback on how you did. So first of all, your band score. That's a solid band 7.5 to 8 even, depending on the examiner, depending on
Okay,
how
sir.
you do for the rest of the questions in part 2 and part 3 as well. But based on what you did so far, I would comfortably give you a 7.5. It's a strong 7.5, arguably even an 8. You have nice fluency, and you're obviously paying attention to what I'm saying. So you're picking up what I'm putting down, and that's great. For this
Okay, sir.
question, when I asked you how often do you go on a trip, you realized, okay,
Okay.
kind of like Adrian, I would say I frequently go on a trip twice a month. Nice numbers. Because I really want to explore new places. Last week I went to water park and I enjoyed a lot. This is a great answer, explanation, example. The only mistake here is and I enjoyed a lot. You have a missing subject here, and I enjoyed it a lot. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If I really wanted to push this to a band 9, I would give a little bit more detail. So last week I went to a water
Okay,
park
sir.
and I enjoyed it a lot because there were many water slides. Okay, and then now I can see those big water slides, a little bit more detail, more vocabulary. Just repeat after me. I would say I frequently go on a trip twice in a month because I really want to explore new places. Last week, I went to a water park and I enjoyed it a lot because there were many water slides.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead and repeat for me, Kamal.
Okay. I would say I frequently go on a trip twice in a month because I really want to explore new places. Like last week, I went to a water park and I enjoyed it a lot because there were many water slides.
Perfect. Now, when you're practicing at home, Kamal, and you make these corrections to your grammar, okay, always
Okay, sir.
emphasize the correction and record it on your phone. So record the corrected sentence on your phone and emphasize, I enjoyed it a lot. And then you'll remember, you kind of fix in your brain that, okay, I have to really pay attention to that
Okay.
subject, make sure I don't lose it. Okay, so that was good. For the introduction, I can tell you've been in these classes in the past. You did a good job. You said, yes, here's my passport that I used to register for the exam a couple of weeks ago. And you didn't say, please have a look, but that's okay. You don't have to. And you had a nice fluent
Okay, sir.
sentence there. When I asked you about your name, you gave me your name and then you told me what you want me to call you, which is great. It tells me that you prepared for this IELTS exam. Okay. The
Okay,
do
sir.
you work or study? That was a little bit of a weird answer, Kamal. So you said, actually, I'm a student by profession. Yeah, I get it, but we usually, it's a bit awkward to say that you're a professional student unless you're on like your third degree or something, like you've done 2 bachelors, a PhD, and now you're doing your next PhD. Then we call you a professional student, but it's kind
Okay,
of weird
sir.
to say that. So I would just say, like actually currently I'm a student, I'm not working. And you said you're in the BC stream.
BCA.
What does that mean?
Yes. Bachelor of Computer Application.
Okay, you have to tell me. You can't assume that I know that, okay? So just like what you said, that's what you want to say. So you want to say, I'm in a Bachelor of Computer Application program. It's much clearer for me, okay? So don't use acronyms that your examiner might not know. It's better to be clear, okay? In the Bachelor of Computer Application, okay?
Okay. Sir, but about my fluency, I
That was
mean, did
great.
I
Band
speak?
9. Nothing there. No problem there. Your fluency is fantastic. You can even speak slower to think about good ideas.
Okay.
What do you
Okay.
do to relax?
Did I speak very quickly?
Yeah, a little bit fast. A little bit fast. You can be a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical. Think a bit more about what you're saying. I like this answer. What do you do to relax? It was original. You said you like to listen to music. So many people say that, but then you said, I like to play with my pet. That was great. And I think many, many people in the chat are wondering the same as what I am here. And you have to pay attention to this. Again, your examiner does not know what you know. If you look in the chat, maybe somebody can guess what I'm going to ask Kamal here. So I had one big question for Kamal when he was telling me about what he likes to do to relax. What do you think that question is? Yeah, Mal immediately has, yeah, Anirban, the same question. And it's the same question that I have. Can you see the chat?
Yes, sir.
So Kamal, what's the answer to that question?
Sir, I have a dog,
You have a
and
dog.
yes, its the name is Candy.
And his name is Candy. And what kind of dog is he?
It's a Pomeranian dog.
Okay, a Pomeranian. Wonderful, beautiful. Tell me that, okay? The whole time I'm thinking, is he playing with a cat? Is he playing with a hamster? Is he playing with, what is he playing with, right? So, a dog, okay? So, my dog, Candy. Right. Lovely. So, that's what we were all wondering is what is that dog or who is that pet, okay? All right, so pay attention to detail. The big tip for you here, yeah, you can speak a little bit slower. And remember, your examiner does not know what you know, okay?
Okay, sir.
So be clear, okay?
Sir, can I answer that? Can I call my dog his name is Candy?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah. We definitely give gender to our pets, cats, dogs, even hamsters. Okay. I have a hamster. Her name is Lily. So yeah, you can definitely give a gender to your pet. If you don't want to, you can say it, but we usually give a he or she designation to our pets. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In Western culture, pets are they're considered part of the family for sure. So they're almost treated like humans. Okay. Sometimes people treat them even better than other humans. So,
Okay,
all
sir.
right. Okay, Kamal, thank you so much for volunteering. Keep up the good studies.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, have a great evening. Bye, Kamal.
Bye, sir.
All right, so that was Kamal. What a great start to this week's live speaking. All right, everyone. So we've got lots more people volunteering here. Let me take somebody kind of from the bottom of the list. So I'll kind of work back towards the middle here. We have Daminov. Daminov hopefully is still with us. Daminov, are you still with us? So be patient, everyone, because I want to be random. I want to keep you here. I want to help as many people as possible. So Daminov, are you ready? I'm just reaching out to you again. Stay in the chat. So everybody, we're using AE Help for this. Okay, so aehelp.com. The website works just fine on my end. So if it's not functioning for somebody, it's probably on your end. Okay, so Daminov, are you there? Yes, Daminov is there. Okay, Daminov, cool. Here we go. We've got lots of time, by the way, everyone in the class. We've got about 45 minutes. Hi, Daminov.
Hello, Adrian.
How are
How are
you?
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Jinx, we said the same question at the same time. I'm doing good, Daminov. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good's pretty good. And where are you, Daminov, in the world today?
I'm from Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. Are you in the capital, Tashkent?
Yeah. No, in Samarkand. City, one of the largest.
Can you say the name one more time, please?
Samarkand.
Samarkand.
Yeah, it's a very ancient as a Rome,
Oh, okay. It's an ancient city, right? So, are there lots of ruins, like old Roman buildings,
movements?
things like that? Ruins. Ruins are like old Roman buildings.
No, there is always like a rebuilt, so all things. So there is a really ancient buildings, but not in ruins.
Okay, so they've been renovated, they've been rebuilt. Nice. Okay, awesome. All right, I would love to visit Uzbekistan one of these days. I've heard so many positive aspects of Uzbekistan, the landscape, the nature, and the people as well. So I think it's
welcome.
I think it's a lovely, lovely part of the world from what I hear. Okay, Daminov, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
To enroll university.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me some details.
Sure.
What are you planning to study?
English, math. Might be in Europe or America. Might.
Okay. And are you going to be undergraduate bachelor's program or graduate master's PhD program?
No, bachelor's. Yeah.
Bachelor's.
I'm studying in high school. So. Yeah.
Okay. I would not have guessed. You have a very mature voice. So
yeah. A lot of people saying about it.
I've told you that. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. We'd use the present perfect there. A lot of people have said that. Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
Have said that.
Yeah. So this would be your most common answer here. A lot of people have said that about my voice. Okay, and always when you're practicing your repetition, always don't mumble it. Always nice and loud, clear and confident. A lot of people have said that about my voice. Don't be shy. Say it with me. A lot of people have said that about my voice.
A lot of people said that about my voice.
Have. A lot of people have said that about my voice. Try again.
A lot of people have said that about my voice.
Awesome. Yeah. Confident repetition like that. It's a sure way to improve quickly. So that's what you want to do. All right. Well, let me help you with your worldly plans for study. Let's talk about traveling. How often do you go on a trip?
Okay. I love traveling, honestly. Honestly, in Uzbekistan as well. I have been traveling for 2 years extensively because 6 months ago I went to Bukhara, and 2 months ago Hiva as well. So yeah, I love traveling, and uh,
When was the last time you went on a trip?
so as I said above, 2 months ago I traveled with my family uh, to Bukhara. So we had a really good time and chilled out, just with a breathtaking scenery and with mouth-watering meal.
What was your favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Okay, there are a lot of holidays in Uzbekistan. So uh, the the most the holiday I loved is Nowruz. It's in 21st of March. It's a very big holiday. I say it's a national holiday of Uzbekistan, and not only in Central Asia. So yeah, there are a lot of fun things, such as Uzbek people cook sumalak, osh, cook samsa, and other meals. So yeah, it's a pretty good holiday. Yeah. Uh,
Okay. All right. Let's stop there. I'm going to give you some feedback. First of all, your band score estimate. All right. So that would be about a band 6 to 6.5 as a rough estimation based on 3 questions. Okay. A 6 is a fluent user of the English language, but someone who makes mistakes. Coherence is a little bit difficult, so I'm not exactly sure, what you might be saying, or the answer might not be perfect for the question that you're being asked. 7 is what's called a good user. So 6.5, of course, is between fluent and good user. And I think most examiners here would rank you a 6 or a 6.5, okay, for what you answered. But I do think that you can do better. I think that with a bit of practice with your current English, so your current vocabulary and grammar, I think that you can be a 7. Okay, you just need to make some adjustments. First of all, you're going to kind of maybe laugh. My first tip, you won't guess it. My first tip is stop being so honest. Okay. So some people are like, what? Why is Adrian saying that? Honesty gets you in trouble. Okay. So when you really want to tell the examiner, about your trip to, what was the name? I had Bukhara, and I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with that region, but anyway, so you really wanted to tell me about your Bukhara adventure, and I was kind of like, okay, what is this place? Where did you go? What did you do? So there wasn't a lot of clarity there for me. Okay. When I asked you about what was your favorite holiday, okay? Remember, we're talking about traveling. So this was a little bit of a tricky one, because holiday, you can understand that as like a national holiday, but you can also understand that as a trip, like a holiday that you went on for a week or 2 weeks somewhere. So there's 2 meanings of the word holiday. When you're thinking about the question and what the meaning of the question is, always think about the topic that the examiner introduces for part 1. Okay, so here the examiner says, let's talk about traveling. What was your favorite holiday? So you have to make that connection that, oh, he's asking me something about a trip, maybe a trip that I took on a holiday. You can combine the two. So you can say, well, last year during Uzbek's national holiday in August, I went on a 3-day trip with my family to, and then continue, right? So that way you can kind of answer both questions in a kind of a tricky way, making sure that you don't go off topic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, what the examiner might do in this case, if you're talking kind of off topic, like you're talking about national holidays, is they might repeat the question to give you a hint that you're not really talking about what they're asking. So they might say, what was your favorite holiday? So if you hear the question again, you should realize, oh, okay, he's asking me something a little bit different here than what I'm thinking. What was this part one about again? Oh yeah, it's about traveling. So this has to be something to do with traveling, not like a holiday like Christmas or Ramadan or something like that, okay? Or Diwali or something. So you have to be careful, okay? Now, my next tip. So the two big tips for you to get closer to that band 7. Number 1, stop being so honest. Number 2, okay, follow the answer, explain, example structure.
Example, yeah.
You didn't really follow that structure. You were a little bit jumpy. You were kind of giving answer, explanation, answer again, explanation again, and you kind of lost me there. Okay, and I don't know if you felt it, but you kind of felt like you were losing yourself. Like you're like, where am I going with this answer? Where's the end of this answer? What's your answer has to be like a mini story: beginning, middle, end, stop. Right? So you said, okay, I love traveling, honestly, in Uzbekistan as well. And as your listener, I'm like, okay, you love traveling in Uzbekistan as well. That means you love traveling outside of Uzbekistan, but I'm guessing that part now. And then you said, I have been traveling for 2 years extensively. And I'm like, okay, so you're doing lots of traveling. So I'm trying to be with you, but I'm having difficulty. Do you see what I mean?
Honestly, I forgot the question, so honestly, I'm nursing. That's why I just forgot.
And I'm happy you said that. You're nervous, and it's totally fine to be nervous. So many people are nervous, and believe me, you're the same as everybody else. That makes you normal. So being nervous is okay. Just especially when you're nervous, stick to strategy. So I love traveling, both within Uzbekistan and abroad, because I like my local culture and I like to discover foreign places and meet new people. Okay. And then simple examples. So don't go into like a complex multi-stage example. So 2 months ago, I went to Bukhara for 2 weeks with my family, and then stop there. Okay, IELTS is not the place to really explain all this. All right. So does that make sense? How to kind of simplify, clarify the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do just a repetition on this one, and then later today, tomorrow, start practicing this systematically. Okay. So here we go. I love traveling both within Uzbekistan and abroad because I like my local culture and I like to discover foreign places and meet new people. So I travel dozens of times within the year. 2 months ago, I went to Bukhara for 2 weeks with my family. Okay, how often do you go on a trip?
Well, I love traveling, both in Uzbekistan and abroad, because I love my local culture. I like to discover new places, to meet new people, and I like travel just to relax. And just 2 months ago, I went to Bukhara for 2 weeks with my family.
Much better. That's a 7. Okay, that's a clear 7. All right. So that's what you want to do. Okay. So not so much of the truth and focus on that structure. Okay, Damanov?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for
All right.
very much.
Thank you for calling in. Good for you to be so studious that you're doing high school and you take the time to go on YouTube and practice IELTS and get in here and volunteer, and that's amazing. So keep it up. You'll do
Thank you.
just fine in life.
Thank
You'll
you.
be very successful. Okay? Bye,
Thank you,
Daminov.
Adrian.
All right, Daminov, young gentleman in Uzbekistan, has all the right attitude for success in life. That's what it takes, people. 8 billion people in the world. Competition is tough, but there's fun ways to succeed, and this is how you do it, right? Get out there and practice. All right, so let's take somebody else. All right, we've went from the bottom. Now let's go to the middle. Amrit. Amrit says, finally, you picked me. How did you know that? I didn't even pick you yet. Are you reading my mind, Amrit? Are you ready for a couple of questions, Amrit? Okay. Let's see. So like I said, I'm kind of jumping around so everybody can get the feeling that you have the chance to be picked, okay? Akshay, get it on the website. Send me a message, okay? Amrit, here we go. And again, remember everybody, you can use this function here.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Amrit. How are you?
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. I was just telling people if they want to book a full speaking interview practice with me, they can always click that button, but I don't think they can see it because it's out of the picture. Anyway, is a button above the chat there. Amrit, I don't know if I've asked you this. What part of India are you in?
Yeah, I am from Punjab, which is the northern part of India.
Punjab is a big region of India, right? How many people inhabit the Punjab region approximately?
I've never searched on the internet, but
Would it be like 100 million or so? Probably, right? It's got to be a lot. You're like, ooh, I should know this, right?
I think maybe 25 to 30 millions.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so Amrit, when are you planning to take the IELTS? I know you've been studying really hard. You're regularly in the classes. You have great attitude for learning. When do you plan to take IELTS? When do you plan to sit the exam?
Actually, sir, now I have been studying in Bachelor of Arts for the past 2 years, and I have 1 year more. And actually, I'm not decided, but actually, in the month of June, maybe 25 year.
25th.
Yeah, 25th.
Yeah. Okay, good. Amrit, well, keep studying. I think you'll do just fine. All right. Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions. Give me some nice full sentence answers. Remember, answer, explain, example, and hint, hint, reflect the grammar of the question. Okay. So
Okay.
let's talk about traveling. What was your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday is New Year and Diwali, which is quite popular holidays in India, and there are lots of people are allowed to spend time in this holiday, including me. And I make some new schedule for the New Year on the holiday of New Year, and even this.
How has traveling changed during the last 10 years?
I think the traveling has changed a lot for the past 10 or 2 or 3 decades ago. People in the past are traveled by the public transport, but now many people are traveling by their own private vehicles, and even they have traveled different type of places without wasting any time. And the major changes is flight. People are travel internationally within within a without any wasting time.
If you could go on a trip anywhere in the world, where would you go?
If I choose one trip, I would like to go to Taj Mahal, which is a very popular place in New Delhi, and I love to go visit this place with my friends. And even I also planning to visit this place 1 week ago with my friends.
That is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these, think about your answers. You can take notes in that 1 minute if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Okay, so and then they move into part 2. All right, I've got lots of complaints for you, Amrit. First of all,
Yes, sir.
great effort. Okay, that was really good effort. I know that you're really pushing for your fluency, so I can feel that you're really pushing to show the examiner that you're fluent. But you have to be accurate and coherent along with fluency. So fluency without coherence or accuracy will not be able to get you a high mark. That would get you a 5.5 to maybe a 6. Maybe a 6 because you are fluent, but a 5.5 because you're really not answering the questions. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to do this a little bit. We're going to do it again. So so same question here. That I started with as with the previous volunteer. What was your favorite holiday? Okay, everybody who's watching the class, really pay attention to this question. When you're hearing a question, you have to catch this be verb. It's very important, this be verb. What was your favorite holiday? Okay, Amrit, you're telling me what your favorite holidays are, your national holidays, just like our previous candidate, Daminov, I think his name was. So you said my favorite holiday is New Year's and Diwali. I'm not asking you that. I asked you what was your favorite holiday. That's what will tell a native English speaker that they're being asked about a trip that they took somewhere during a holiday, like a summer vacation. Okay.
Only tell one. Yeah, only tell one holiday.
Not only that, but this is a past event. This is something that has happened in your life. This isn't a general concept. It's not like I like New Year's. Okay. If somebody says to me, what was your favorite holiday? I would not say I like New Year's. I would say, well, last summer I went to Costa Rica and I had a lot of fun. So that would be my answer. Okay. The what was your favorite holiday? That was is very important. It means in the past, a holiday that happened. Okay, so you can say something like, my favorite holiday was Diwali in 2017 before COVID, when my family and I visited the Taj Mahal for a few days. Okay, so that would be a good answer. All right, but if you tell me about what is your favorite holiday, that's kind of why I interrupted you and went to the next question, because you're not giving me the right answer. Okay, so let's try this one more. Let's try this one more time. What was your favorite holiday, Amrit?
My favorite holiday is
Was. It has to be
favorite-
something that happened. Okay, so my favorite holiday was. One
my
more time.
favorite holiday.
Wait a sec, Amrit. Sorry. Wait a sec for the interrupt. Okay, one more time. Let me ask you this. What was your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday was Diwali, because in the year of 2019, before the COVID-19, I visited Taj Mahal with my family members, and I spent a couple of days there.
Yeah, okay, and then you even stop there. I spent a couple of days there. Now that would be a clear 6.5 to 7 at least. Okay, so you'd still want to say a little bit more about why it was your favorite holiday. It's a beautiful building. It's a landmark of India, so it was my dream to go visit there. And then that would be a band 9, okay? So really pay attention to not only the verb, but the verb tense, okay? If the verb tense is was, you can't be giving an is answer. That's a wrong answer. Does that make sense, Amrit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Verb tense, right? Pay attention to verb tense. Okay, how has traveling changed during the last 10 years? All right, that was my next question, Amrit. You said, traveling has changed a lot for the past 2 or 3 decades ago. What is 2 or 3 decades?
Like 20 or 30 years.
And what's the question?
10 years. Like I should say that 1 decade.
Yeah, exactly. You doubled, tripled the timeline, right? In communication, that would be like, okay, I'm talking about 2010. He's talking about 1990. All right, baggy pants and rappers. So different era, right? Different generation. So you have to be careful. You have to really answer the question. Okay.
Okay,
And then
sir.
you said they traveled with public transport, but now they're traveling with their own vehicles and they travel internationally, which is good. You could have given an example, right? So people in India used the train mostly in 2010. It doesn't have to be the truth. If you're making it up, it's totally okay. Even if people use their cars in 2010, it doesn't matter as long as it's good English. So people in India used the train mostly in 2010, but now in 2022, everyone is using their car to go around the country. Okay? So a little bit more clarity with the example, Amri. Okay, so let's just make a slight adjustment here. And we'll take out those parts. And now it's a much better answer. Okay, I'm going to give you this answer. Repeat after me. All right, ready, Amrit?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay, so traveling has changed a lot for the past decade. People traveled with public transport, but now they're traveling with their own vehicle, and they travel internationally. People in India used the train mostly in 2010, but now in 2022, everyone is using their car to go around the country. How has traveling changed during the past 10 years?
The traveling has changed a lot for the past decade. They travel with the public transport, but now they are traveling with their own vehicle. They travel internationally. People in India used the train mostly in 2010, but now in 2022, everyone is using their car to go around the country.
Much better. Okay, notice how that last part really made it visual, what you're talking about with public transport versus cars. So you can see all these people in India on the train, and then now you see all these same people driving their cars around the country, right? So visual
Yeah.
communication, okay?
Yes, there are more clarity in this like question.
Yeah, in the answer, absolutely. Yeah, you have a lot more because as soon as you can visualize, then you have clarity, right? And I hope that everybody else who's watching is also repeating. So when I'm working with a student like Amreen, it's for everybody. So these mistakes are common among a lot of people in the IELTS. Okay, Amrit, thank you so much for volunteering, and thank you for all your super chat donations. It's very respectable of you to do that. So I commend you for it. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, have a great day. Bye, Amrit.
Bye bye, sir.
All right, that was Amrit. Learning lots, doing lots. That's fantastic. Okay, we've got time for one more. Let's see, maybe Fam here is available. Let me reach out to Fam. Are you ready? Kind of moving around the world. We've had a couple people from India, from Uzbekistan. We had Damanov. I'm sorry, Damanov, I forgot your name there, but I will fix it in my brain. Damanov. And now we are reaching out to Fam. And hopefully Fam is with us. There's Fam. All right. All right, Fam. I hear that you picked up. I wonder if you can hear me. I don't hear anything, Fam, from your side. If you're using an Apple device, that could be tricky. You have to really check your settings. Apple is kind of finicky when it comes to chat software. So that could be it. So check your settings, Fam. I don't hear you. Try it with somebody else, and then I will try to reconnect with you later. Okay, Fam? So keep up the good studies. All right, I couldn't hear Fam there. Let's try somebody else. So here we have Shine Girl. Let's see if Shine Girl is available. Are you ready? What a positive, optimistic handle, Shine Girl. Let's see if Shine Girl is available. Kind of jumping around. And again, students, this is for everybody, this chat interface on our website. Again, the chat interface is aehelp.com, okay? All right, reaching out to Shine Girl. Hello, Shine Girl. Again, I heard a pickup, but I cannot hear you. Are you on mobile? It should work. Most Android devices are able to connect. If you're using data and if you're using a proxy network, that could also be a problem. So, nope, you're using a computer. Are you using a proxy or a VPN service, virtual proxy network? Because that could be an issue as well, students. So I'm just trying to give you some hints on what could be issues when you're trying to connect. What country are you in? Have you enabled your microphone on the website? So when your browser said, do you want to... Oh, and check your microphone settings, of course. By the way, a lot of viewers, that's sometimes the issue is that you're not set up with the right audio device. Okay, Uzbekistan. So we had Damanov call from Uzbekistan. So you should be able to connect with me from Uzbekistan. You might want to check your microphone settings on your computer. Make sure you have, if you're using a headset, make sure you've switched your computer to use your headset microphone and your headset speaker. Sometimes if you're using a laptop or a computer, your microphone settings aren't right. So careful with that. Okay, Shine Girl, check it out. And check your settings and then try again, okay? It'll be in your audio settings on your computer, okay? So if you click on the little speaker, it's usually down in the bottom right. If you're using Windows, it'll give you your audio settings and then you can switch between your headset and your computer speakers, etc. Okay, so check that out. All right, okay, Shine Girl, good luck with that. Call back later. All right, let's try Srujan. So Srujan says, please pick me. Srujan, you are in luck. Are you ready? Okay. So computers are complex beasts, everyone, but don't give up. All right. So those were some tips for everybody there. And test the system. Okay, test it. Test it with another student. Hi, Srujan.
Hey Adrian,
How are you?
I am fine. I am pretty good.
Awesome. Srujan, where are you in the big, beautiful world right now?
I am from India, Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay, you knew that was the next question, right? Where in India, right? You got ahead of me there. Okay, Hyderabad. All right, and when are you planning to take the IELTS exam?
It's on June 4th.
June 4th. So you've got a solid week to brush up on your skills, right?
Yes.
All right. What's your target goal? What's your target score or target band score that you're going for?
7.5.
7.5. All right. That's it's a good goal to have. 7.5, of course, is between a good and very good user of the English language, and a 7.5 is pretty much enough for express visa, for immigration, or it's enough for graduate school if you want to do masters. So it's a good score to have on your resume for the next 2 years. Okay. Well, let me ask you a couple questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about traveling. How has traveling changed during the last 10 years?
Traveling, yeah. There has. How was traveling changed last 10 years?
Yeah,
Okay.
let me ask you one more time. We'll start it off one more time. Here we go. So, how has traveling changed during the last 10 years?
Traveling has been. I have seen a lot of changes since the past 10 years during traveling. So routes have been created. The modes of transport have been increases. Lots of private vehicles have been coming up. The road infrastructure, everything is growing. So this makes traveling a lot of easy to move from one place to another. This also reduces the travel time. I am seeing when I was a kid, I did not see much private vehicles, and the roads were not good during during last 5 or 6 years. But that is changing. But is that is changing in my country? We are seeing a lot of improvements.
If you could go on a trip anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would go to Maldives. That is my dream since last 1 or 2 years. I have seen many photos of Maldives. I wish I could go to Maldives. I'm planning to go this year. It is a very beautiful city.
Okay,
So, but
I'll stop you there. That's the end of part 1. Now we'll continue with part 2. For part 2, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to prepare your answers. Okay, all right, so good news and bad news. Bad news, that's definitely not a 7.5. That would be closer to band 6. You're fluent, but lots of confusing grammar and information there. Good news. You want to hear the good news?
yes,
Okay, all right. I was cliffhanging there. Good news is I think you can get a 7.5. Okay, so I do think you have the skills needed for a 7.5. Okay, and I'll tell you what you need to do to get that 7.5 June 4th when you're sitting your exam. So the question was, how has traveling changed during the last 10 years? You had a lot of difficulty starting this answer, so I repeated the question, and then you said traveling has been, I have seen a lot during the past 10, roads have been created. It was really kind of jumpy, confusing, all over the place. Okay, so the beginning was like a band 5.5, because I was just confused of what you're trying to tell me. But then, surprisingly and amazingly, from this point here, your band level switched to a band 7.5. So you said this has made traveling easy. This also reduces travel time. When I was a kid, I did not see a lot of private vehicles, but the roads and the roads have not been good during the last 6 years, but they have been improved. So the second half of your answer changed from a 5 to a 7.5. It became clear, your grammar became clear, your idea became focused. Did you realize that your answer started very awkward and then ended very strong?
yes, correct. Actually, I did not know what to say at the beginning.
Yeah. So what you want to do, there's a couple of steps that you have to take to make sure that you get the best score possible on your exam. My first tip to you is go to your exam early and practice speaking questions with other candidates if you're going for a face-to-face interview. If you're doing it on the computer from home, then obviously that's not possible, but then you need to practice English with somebody that has really good English in your house, a brother, a cousin, a friend, somebody, and practice these questions. Okay, for you, it's very dangerous to go into the exam without practicing right before the exam. Okay, so your brain needs to be moving in English. Okay, that's my first tip. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you. Understood.
Okay, so make sure to practice speaking questions for at least 45 minutes before the exam. Okay, before your actual interview. Okay, that's my first tip, so that you don't make this kind of awkward mistake or start to your answers. Okay, that's my first tip. Secondly, don't force yourself to impress too much. So I know you realize that, oh, okay, this question's present perfect. That was very clever. You realized, okay, he's asking me a present perfect question. Has traveling changed? And so you're like, okay, I'm going to force the present perfect. So he says, traveling has been, I have seen a lot. And you're really trying to force that present perfect. And I think that created a lot of those mistakes at the beginning. But then once you realize that you don't need to force it, it will come naturally, then you started to use it correctly. Did you realize that while you were doing that?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so your English is good. Don't force it. Don't force your English. Okay, just let it come naturally.
Okay.
Okay, that's my
How
second
fast
tip
I
to you.
was? Am I too fast?
I think you were trying to be too fast, and you don't need to do that. Okay, natural speaking is a broad range. It can be quite slow like this, as long as it's clear and fluent, or it can be really fast like this and be still very fluent, right? So there's a broad range of natural English speed. You don't need to force your speed. Your speed is fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, pay more attention to your content and your grammar. Okay, all right. Okay, one more mistake that I want to emphasize here in the second question. If you could go on a trip anywhere in the world, where would you go? You said, I would go to the Maldives. That is my dream. What do you think is the mistake there?
If I should have started with if I had a chance, if I get a
Exactly.
chance.
Yeah, exactly. In the IELTS, you want to show the full grammar. In everyday communication, we often don't. So you're right. In everyday English, we will often just go for the second half of this conditional, and we won't even repeat the first half. But on the IELTS exam, to maximize your band score, you want to reflect the whole grammar of the question, okay? So keep that in mind for your test, okay? So reflect the entire grammar of the question, okay? So here you would say, if I had the chance, or given the chance, I would go to Maldives. That is my dream. I have seen many photos, and it is a beautiful part of the world. In fact, I'm planning to go this year with my family to hang out on the beach and try the local food. Okay? A little bit more detail, and then you're getting full marks. Okay, do a little bit of repetition with me here, all right? So here we go. If you could go on a trip anywhere in the world, where would you go? Given the chance, I would go to Maldives. That is my dream. I have seen many photos, and it is a beautiful part of the world. In fact, I'm planning to go this year with my family to hang out on the beach and try local food. If you could go on a trip anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Given the chance, I will go to Maldives. That is my dream. I have seen many photos and it's a beautiful part of the world. In fact, I am planning to go this year with my family to hang out on the beach and try local food.
Much better, okay? So focus on that full grammar, all right? And then I think you can get a 7.5. So I do believe that you have that level of English. You just need to make sure that you're showing it, okay? Don't rush into your answers, all right, Sujan?
Yes, understood.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Adrian.
You're very, very welcome. You've got a few days, right? June 4th, so make sure you come back and practice until then, okay?
Yes.
All right,
Thank
Sujan.
you, Adrian.
Have
Have
a
a
great
good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, that was Sujan. By the way, everyone, I haven't said this, but give each other a thumbs up, give each other a clap, all right? It's very brave for people to be volunteering here. We've got, 300 people watching, so it's definitely a great way to build confidence. Students, we were using our website, aehelp.com, for this chat interface. Use it every day, and your English will improve, okay? So that was aehelp.com. It is also connected with gieltshelp.com, so make sure that you log in at gieltshelp.com as well. Okay, visit those websites. Use this discount code to get 25% off the premium package. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and it can really save you a lot of money, not having to sit the IELTS exam 2-3 times, but getting an awesome score on your first attempt. So use the code XR90 for a 25% on the websites. Again, our websites, as you know, they look like this. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. Click this red button there to join the premium IELTS package. For general IELTS, same idea, red button there. That's it for this class, but worry not, I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have reading and speaking part 2. So for those people who are wondering about speaking part 2, cue card coming up tomorrow, speaking part 2. Carolina, thank you so much for helping to keep our class focused and our chat clean. Thank you so much, members, for your support. Thank you for our viewers. Hopefully I will catch all of you again tomorrow, and I hope that a lot of you have picked up some good strategies and information to help you improve your scores and your English communication skills. I'm Adrian, signing out from Canada, Victoria. Much love to all of you wherever you are in this beautiful world. Bye for now, everyone.